What's up guys, Van here from McMerwe Farms, and today we're going to talk about a plant called HM or Hemianthus Micranthemoides. This plant used to be called Micranthemum Micranthemoides, and the nickname for this plant is pearlweed. For most people, this is not a very difficult plant to grow, and if you struggle with it, it's most likely your lights. It only requires low to medium light, but higher light is obviously better. It's got no CO2, liquid carbon or fertilizer requirement, but all of these promote growth. Aquasoil or active soil is not required, and it will grow in pool filtration sand or very fine stones. The growth rate is very fast and it can be grown immerged. So let's talk a bit more about pearlweed. You can easily identify it by its stems and long semi-sharp leaves. Even though pearlweed is a stem-like plant, it can also be used as a carpeting plant if you provide it with sufficient light. Remember, the more light it receives, the higher the chances are of the pearlweed growing sideways instead of upwards, trying to get closer to the light. It will also create runners, and from these runners, it can either create more runners or sprout up in search of light. I started with about 20 stems in this tank, and now 5 months later it's already taking over. I've trimmed this tank about 2 times during those 5 months, so you can obviously see how fast it grows even without CO2, fertilizers or active substrate. So how do you get it to carpet? Well, this is where trimming comes in. You can trim the plant any way you like. If you like the plant to be in the background with vertical growth, take 8 or more stems together with tweezers and push them into the substrate. You can then either let it grow vertically or in a round bushy way, but just keep it in shape by cutting it regularly in the form you prefer. You can also plant individual stems 1 cm away from each other when trying to create a carpet. You then just have to trim it regularly to force the plant to grow sideways instead of upwards towards the light. Just remember that the plant will still grow upwards because it's natural to the plant. After routine maintenance, you can either replant the offcuts into the open spaces, sell the offcuts to make a little bit of money, or you can dispose of them. But rather than disposing of them, just post a picture of them on a Facebook or forum type group for free, and someone will most likely come and pick them up at your doorstep within a couple of hours. Maybe you can even trade your offcuts for a different plant. So what do you get when you buy these plants from a shop? Normally you will get 1 to 2 inch clippings from an online seller. Others will offer it in filter wool that was grown in a greenhouse, while the rest will give it to you in some kind of special soil with some roots attached to it. Pearlweed does however not require any roots to start growing in your aquarium, and the stems will produce their own roots very quickly, even if you just add them to normal pool filtration sand. Okay guys, now for your 3 tips. Tip number 1. Pearlweed will thrive under good and high light. Just don't expect pearlweed to grow very fast if it's not under good light, but it will still grow. The camera does not pick it up, but the color looks very striking and vivid. Probably one of the best looking green plants you can have. Tip number 2. Be careful of pearlweed growth. If not maintained, it can take over and it can fully surround other slow growing plants. So for a foreground plant, it should probably be planted alone in the foreground and not with other plants. If you like to spend time aquascaping your aquarium, then pearlweed is the perfect plant for you. The other great thing about pearlweed is that it does not have very long roots. So if it grew into a space that you don't like, it's easy to remove and you won't ruin your tank when you pull it out of your substrate as you would with other plants. Tip number 3. Just remember to watch out for livestock when you trim. Rather go slow and make sure you shake the bush before you start trimming. But before I close, I want to say that all the footage I have shown you are not in any active soil, only pool filter sand or diamond blasting sand. I don't dose any fertilizers or use liquid carbon, and I don't use CO2. As you can see, pearlweed still thrives without these. It simply just needs a good light. Therefore, in closing, if you're looking for a fast growing, vivid colored plant that would do good in most conditions, then this is it. And if you dose fertilizers and have CO2, it will look a lot better. But that's it for this video guys. If this video sucked, you know what to do, but if it was awesome, get subscribed, press that like button and check out our other videos. I really hope you guys learned something today, and as always, keep it shrimple.